Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. I have Mark Smith, Bija Company, bijaco.com with me today. Mark, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Michael. It's always a delight to be here. Let's make some money for our CEOs.
Let's do that. All right. Let's start with the Prime Directive for the effective executive.
That's right. The effective executive has to focus on one thing, and that's to keep the main thing the main thing. And there are three elements that they rotate between as being the main thing. The first one is vision. The CEO of the company is responsible for two domains. Domain one is the vision of the company, and domain two is the culture that creates that vision and makes it a reality. So the vision is fundamentally what they're going to say at your eulogy.
Okay.
So, Michael, when you're all said and done as an executive, what do you want them to say about you? That's the vision that you really are going to be focusing on. Now, that vision doesn't change a lot over time, but it does adjust as how we view the world changes and how our situation changes. But we have to keep focusing on that. It's also what your team is going to follow, why they're going to follow you. That vision is what they buy into as they become a part of your organization. And your vision is why investors are willing to rent you money. If you think about it, that's what investors do. They give us the use of their funds, and we give them some rent along the way called preferred return or interest, depending on how it's structured. And then when we're done with the money, they hand it back. We hand it back to them. And so it's a rental. But your vision is why the investors are going to let you have access to your money. So that's the first thing we have to work on. You have to be absolutely clear, and the CEO is the only person who's responsible for that, and nobody else.
Got it. And the messaging of it. Got it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely true. Then the second element that you have to focus on, your Prime Directive number 2, is value. And that is why your customers are going to choose to buy from you today, tomorrow, 5 years from now. And creating that value is your job as the executive is to make sure that that happens. It's also the reason why your competition fears you and why they respect you. And the more value you can generate to create that outcome for your competition, the better you're going to be positioned in your marketplace. Value is also the reason why somebody should want to buy your company, either as a shareholder or as somebody who comes in and cashes you out. So that's the second Prime Directive. The third Prime Directive is velocity, which is how fast are you going to run this machine? And nobody decides how fast it's going to go other than you. You are the person who decides that speed. So there's three elements: vision, value, and velocity. And if you can keep those three things front and center, you're going to run a company that makes a lot of money. What do you think, Michael?
I think that is the greatest message you could get any CEO, to keep them focused on what they're doing. You have a lot of them. This is a great lesson for me today. Thank you.
A delight. Always great to be here, and learn more at the executivestrategysummit.com.
Great. You've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube